Alright, what's good with y'all? Bruh, it's Don Coolio coming at y'all with another video. In this video, man, as y'all can see by the title, it says, which one is better, Sparking Zero or Tenkaichi 4? Now I know y'all wondering, Tenkaichi 4? When did Tenkaichi 4 come out? Bro, Tenkaichi 4 is a mod. So it's basically Tenkaichi 3. I done talked to y'all about it before. Y'all, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all should know if y'all play Sparking Zero. If y'all was hype about Sparking Zero, y'all knew about this mod. But basically, it was a mod that some people, I think some people in Mexico maybe, I'm not sure, I'm not trying to be racist or nothing, but I think they was based in like Mexico or something. They created the Tenkaichi 4 mod, and basically it had everything that Sparking Zero has and more. But you know, we finna get into it. It basically was just Tenkaichi 3 with all the added characters, all the added stages, new certain new stuff, you feel me? So we finna get into it, and we finna see which one is better. Y'all already know which one I'm gonna say, the Tenkaichi 4 mod. Y'all don't even have to wonder what I'm finna say, but let's get into it though, bro.
Dragon Ball fans have been waiting years, well, over a decade actually.
I ain't gonna lie, that just caught me so off guard. Not to even pause it with, I just paused it within the first 4 seconds. Who is this? I ain't gonna lie, the only female I know.
Mean to tell me you just paused the video because it's a female talking? Bro, are you serious? Who cares, bro? Like, females can't play video games, bro. Like, what are we talking, bro? I'm telling this nigga just be pausing it for no reason, bro. I'm telling you.
For the return of the Budokai Tenkaichi series. And now, after all that time, Sparking Zero is finally here. A full-blown current gen
Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. I know y'all just seen that, bro. What is this, bro? This what I be talking about, bro. This what I be talking about, bro. There is no reason this should be on here. Like, that's crazy, bro. This is YouTube, a new... I ain't even finna say that. Let's get back to the video.
Budokai Tenkaichi game, built from the ground up, with modern visuals, a massive roster, and all the spectacle you would expect from an official release. And everyone hates it.
Yup.
No, I'm just kidding. It's a decent sequel.
Nah, you wasn't kidding. Everybody do hate it.
But while Sparking Zero is stealing the spotlight, it's not the only option. There's another game out there, a definitely legal game that is definitely
Nah, it's definitely not legal.
Not any copyright infringement at all game.
Motherfucker, I gotta go ahead and fix
A
that
game
quality.
that's been quietly evolving in the background for years, fueled entirely by the dedication of die-hard Budokai Tenkaichi fans. Enter Budokai Tenkaichi 4, the ultimate fan-made mod that takes Tenkaichi 3 and cranks it up to 11. This isn't just a simple resolution and texture upgrade, this is a full-fledged expansion of what made the original games legendary. New characters, updated mechanics, reworked game modes, and a ton of extra content that breathes new life into a game that is already considered one of the best Dragon Ball Z experiences ever made.
It is the best Dragon Ball experience ever made. Let's not say one of.
According to the internet. It's the only opinion that matters. So now that we have both games, the real question is, which one is better?
It's free real estate.
One major advantage that Tenkaichi 4 has over Sparking Zero is simply the fact that it is completely free. No expensive price tag, no overpriced DLC, no pre-order bonuses that lock content behind paywalls. Just download the mod, set it up, and you're good to go. In a time when games are getting more expensive and
$80 for Mario Kart. I ain't gonna lie, I'm never gonna let them lay that down, bro. Y'all niggas are, bro, Mario Kart should never be no $80. $50 at most.
You the same nigga that paid $110 for Sparking Zero, but you complaining about $80 for Mario Kart? Man, that shit don't make sense to me, bro. You sound goofy as hell.
The idea of getting a fully fledged Dragon Ball experience without spending a dime is pretty nice and pretty rare. And honestly, But of course,
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, not to keep pausing it. Like, it is free, but you gotta know what you're doing to download something like this and actually play it. You actually have to know what you're doing. That's one thing I realized when it comes to like getting all these different things on your PC or just like downloading mods or different games. Like, you gotta know what you're doing, bro, 100%. Because it's so easy to mess up.
There's a catch. It's not as simple as just popping in a disc or downloading it from a digital storefront. Since Tenkaichi 4 is a fan-made mod, getting it up and running takes a bit of effort. Not that much, but enough to turn some people off. Like people who are like, don't even think to restart something when it's not working. Those kind of people.
I ain't gonna lie, can y'all hear what she's saying? I can barely hear her at times, bro. Whatever your name is, no offense. Let me see. What's your name, bro? What's your YouTube name? Hidden. Shout out to you. But you might need your audio. I can barely hear you.
Like my mom. But trust me, if I can get it running, then you can get it running.
Yeah.
But in case if you need a bit of help, here is a quick tutorial. How to play Tenkaichi 4 on PC. To play Tenkaichi 2 emulator. Next, you'll need the actual Tenkaichi 4 game, which you can download from the Team BT4 website.
Yeah.
When you have it downloaded, place the ROM into your PCSX2 game library. Then just load it up and it should go. But it doesn't look as good as it could. And also you may notice that everything looks like it's in French. Well, that is probably because you have downloaded the Spanish version, as there is both an English and a Spanish version of the ROM. And if you don't speak either of those languages, then you can get fucked. Once you have downloaded the right version of
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all like this, bro. It was way harder for me because I downloaded the PS2 version, but I think it's only a PS. I don't know. I downloaded the PS2 version, but I downloaded it to be able to play on a jailbroken PS3. Now, if you go to the website, you'll be able to see it and shit. But I downloaded it to be able to play on the jailbroken PS3, so it was a lot more difficult. Like I had to put this motherfucker on a flash drive, plug it into the P3, jailbreak the P3, then figure out how to do all that, bro. It was super difficult, bro. So this is definitely easier on PC. So if you're trying to play it on PC, it shouldn't be that hard at all.
Tenkaichi 4, you'll also want to download the extra folder as well. Copy the contents of the extra folder to your PCSX2 emulator's installation path and replace the files. This will fix graphical errors with the characters. If you want to use the game upscaled to 1080p or 4K, then go into the game's properties and select the resolution you want. Now it should look pretty good. Tutorial over. No more learning. We're done with that.
She clutch
Sparking Zero absolutely delivers when it comes to the roster size. There's no denying that. It's one of the biggest selling points for the game. Seeing so many characters, transformations, and iconic fighters packed into a single experience is undeniably impressive. But here's the thing. What's the point of having all these characters if the game doesn't give you much of a reason to actually use them? And that's where Sparking Zero starts to stumble. Outside of the story mode, which naturally focuses on a select group of fighters, there's just not much single player content that encourages you to explore the full roster. Sure, you can jump into free battle and mess around, but without a unique challenges or engaging offline modes, it all starts to feel a little bit hollow. If you want to truly test your skills with different characters, your main option is to go online. And that's where another problem pops.
Yeah, that's what I be telling people, bro. People be claiming it's not a flop, bro. The only things you can do is play free battle or online battle. That's a terrible game, bro. That's a terrible game. There's no other content, bro.
So, the online media as a whole is...
We got modders giving us more content than a fucking company that's getting paid billions, my nigga. Come on,
in
bro.
itself. Like with any fighting game, some characters are just going to be way stronger than others, and players will naturally gravitate towards the best ones. That means, despite Sparking Zero having a massive roster, you're realistically going to see the same handful of characters over and over again. If you're looking for variety, you're probably not going to find it in online play. On the other hand, Budokai Tenkaichi 4 takes a different approach. While it doesn't quite match Sparking Zero in sheer numbers, it still boasts a huge roster. And more important,
I mean, bro, like, what more? I ain't gonna lie. What characters do Sparking Zero got that Tenkaichi 4 don't have? Let me know in the comment section, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I think it should be pretty relative. If not, Tenkaichi 4 should have more.
It actually gives you a reason to experiment with different characters. With a variety of offline modes including Mission 100 and other unique challenges, the game actively pushes you to try out fighters you might not normally pick. Whether
it's because of stuff like that. You see what you said, Mission 100. It has all these different modes you can play, while Sparking Zero don't have none of that, bro. They thought giving us a custom battle, bro. Don't nobody care about custom battle. Why do I care about custom battle, nigga? I can just put the two characters and make us fight in free battle. Why do I care about custom? Give us other modes that make us want to play. Custom battle is not something that make you want to play. It's a cool mode. I'm not gonna say it's just completely trash, but I'm not getting on Sparking Zero to play Mario Maker.
it's through
Simple as that.
specific match conditions or AI battles that encourage diverse strategies, Tenkaichi 4 makes sure its roster actually matters beyond just being a checklist of characters. So at the end of the day, while Sparking Zero wins in terms of pure numbers, Tenkaichi 4 arguably makes better use of its roster.
Yup. That's crazy. Like, bro, look at this, bro. It's on my screen, bro.
I like to play with myself. If you're
Pause.
looking for a polished and cinematic story mode, then neither of them really fit the bill, to be perfectly honest. But Sparking Zero definitely comes the closest. From the presentation to the voice acting to the sheer number of sagas it covers, it's an ambitious retelling of the Dragon Ball story. But other than the story mode, Sparking Zero feels a bit bare bone when it comes to its single player offerings. It is clear that the game leans heavily on the player base playing online, rather than giving depth to the solo play. In contrast, Tenkaichi 4 shines when it comes to its single player content. This fan-made mod isn't just about recreating the Budokai Tenkaichi 3 experience, it expands on it, bringing back long-lost features that the official series abandoned over the years. It's the kind
Like, look at this, bro. They got the snow map, even though it don't look just too crazy, but it's there. How do you have Broly? Like, actually, the crazy thing is, bro, Broly was like literally one of the biggest selling points in the game. Like, that was one of the characters that you see on the home screen. You feel me? Like, when you just hovering over it on PlayStation, that's one of the main characters. Like, Goku and him are fighting. You got full power Super Saiyan Broly versus Ultra Instinct Goku. Why is the main map they fought at not in the game? Y'all know how dumb that is, bro. But we still got niggas over here saying the game not a flop. The game gave me what I needed. Bro, you goofy as hell. I'm telling you, bro, it's niggas out here that really be defending this game, bro. The game didn't flop. It sold 5 to 6 million. It sold more than Tenkaichi 3. It sold that many because of Tenkaichi 3 for one. Two, let's get into this, my nigga. You said it sold 6 million copies, right? Okay, how much bread did you get from that? How much bread did you get from that? I didn't know that the number of people, the number of copies that the game sold mattered on whether it flopped to the general population. Just because it sold a good number of copies don't mean it didn't flop. The game is trash. That's why it flopped. It's worse than Tenkaichi 3. It's worse than this shit that modders made. It's worse than those games. It came out lackluster. It's still lackluster to this day. It's a fucking flop, my nigga. You didn't get no bread. Spike Chunsoft and Bandai, it's not a flop to them because they got paid, bro, millions of dollars from it, of course. But for your dumbass nigga that's sitting here coping, you ain't, nigga, it's a flop for you, trust. Oh, I got what I needed. Cool. Then I guess you just gonna be able to live in mediocrity, bro. I think that's the word.
kind of single player content that adds longevity, rewarding players who enjoy exploring different fighters and trying
Y'all see Tarbo. Why we didn't get Tarbo, my nigga?
out new strategies rather than just sticking to the same handful of top tier characters. The story mode is still here, and while in comparison to Sparking Zero it is a lot less polished, it still offers a pretty decent retelling of Dragon Ball Super. Another area where Tenkaichi 4 surprisingly pulls ahead is in stage variety. While Sparking Zero has impressively large battlefields that allow for some of the biggest, most open fights in the franchise, the actual number of stages is disappointingly low. Tenkaichi 4, on the other hand, benefits from Tenkaichi 3's already massive selection of arenas, and the modders have expanded upon it even further, adding even more iconic locations from across the Dragon Ball series. Sure, these stages might not be as large or as detailed as the ones in Sparking Zero, but the sheer variety makes up for it. So when it comes to the
Well, I'm saying we don't need them to look perfect, bro. That be y'all's problem. Y'all think, oh well, I mean they look better. It's a PS5 game, bro. There's no reason this game should not have all the maps that was in the other one, bro. It don't need to be fucking humongous, bro. I run into the barrier the same amount on Sparking as I would on Tenkaichi 4 or Tenkaichi 3, bro. Come on now.
single player content, Sparking Zero might have the flash, but Tenkaichi 4 has the depth. Gotta go fast. Now, when it comes to gameplay, this is where things start to get a little more subjective. Well, I guess all of my points are subjective, but this especially so. Both Sparking Zero and Tenkaichi 4 follow the same core Budokai Tenkaichi formula. Large 3D arenas, high-speed combat, and that signature Dragon Ball chaos. But the way they execute it feels noticeably different. Sparking Zero is, without a doubt, the faster of the two. Movement feels snappier, dashes more explosive, and just speed in general plays a much bigger role in the overall flow of combat. If you're coming from the previous Budokai Tenkaichi games, The pacing might catch you off guard at first. It's a noticeable shift towards a more aggressive, high-speed experience. The game wants you to be constantly on the move, making split-second decisions and weaving together attacks with precision. The responsiveness is impressive, and
I don't know, bro. Do y'all think that Sparking Zero is a faster game than Tenkaichi 4? Or even just Tenkaichi 3, because that's all Tenkaichi 4 is just a mod of Tenkaichi 3. Do y'all think Sparking Zero is a faster game? I heard a lot of points from I think it's a pretty, I'm not saying Sparking Zero not fast at all. Like that's something that it does like do good in my opinion at least. But I don't know, I just feel like maybe it's the fact that Tenkaichi 3 just felt like you had more freedom. Let's just say that. Maybe I'm tripping.
everything clicks, fights can feel incredibly cinematic in a way that surpasses even the older titles. But that doesn't mean that Tenkaichi 4 is slow. Far from it. While it might not hit the same blistering speeds as Sparking Zero, it still maintains the fluidity and freedom that makes the Budokai Tenkaichi series so much fun to play. The movement feels more natural, and the combat, while maybe not as frantic, is still engaging and satisfying. In some ways, it actually benefits from not cranking up the speed to 11. The slightly more measured pace gives you more room to react and strategize, rather than just relying on sheer reflexes. Personally, I find myself leaning more towards the Tenkaichi 4 gameplay.
You can tell she biased, but I don't blame it. It's better. It's definitely better than Sparking Zero. I just gotta be real. It's definitely better. But she's definitely a little biased. I don't know. I fucks with her vid though. I fucks with it for sure.
But that's probably just because I've had more experience with it. It just feels more comfortable to me. Like second nature.
I feel that.
The muscle memory I've built up from years of playing the older Budokai Tenkaichi games carries over seamlessly, making it easy to jump in and start having fun without needing to completely adjust my playstyle. But if you're looking for something faster, something that pushes the pacing to the next level, while keeping the Budokai Tenkaichi DNA intact, Sparking Zero might be more your style. It looks good. Graphics. When it comes to visuals, there's really no competition.
Yeah, it's not even close, bro. In terms of visuals, it's a PS5 game versus a PS2 game at the end of the day.
Man, this nigga will do everything in his power just not to get Sparking Zero his props, bro. Like, what are we talking about, bro? This nigga be tripping.
Pointed if it looked worse, I'd be like, what have you guys been doing for the last
but you feel me? Like, that's what I'm saying. This shouldn't even be a category in my opinion, because, I mean, it's supposed to look better. Even Raging Blast look better than fucking Tenkaichi 3. You know, some people don't like the way Raging Blast look, but it graphically wise, it definitely looked better. You know?
Well, at least during battles it looks great. Even though Sparking Zero is visually superior, it doesn't mean Tenkaichi 4 looks bad. The fact that it holds up as well as it does is honestly impressive. Sure, it may not have the same level of detail or cutting edge rendering techniques that Sparking Zero boasts, but it still looks like a proper Dragon Ball game. The cell shading style has aged incredibly well. One major advantage Tenkaichi 4 has though is that it's far less demanding on hardware. Since it's running on an emulator rather than modern consoles, you don't need the latest and greatest system to enjoy it. Even on a mid-range PC, Tenkaichi 4 can run at high resolutions and smooth frame rates without breaking a sweat. If you're on a budget or don't have access to next-gen consoles, Tenkaichi 4 is by far the more accessible option.
Only thing is you can't play online on it. That's the only thing that's trash, but it has way more content outside the online, so it's not like it's gonna impact you that much. But it's like you ain't gonna be able to do that. But I mean, you can still have a homeboy over and y'all could play Tenkaichi 4, I guess co-op. But other than that, that's the only way you're gonna be able to play against anybody.
Sure, looks are important to a game, but it is an aspect that you kind of start getting used to after a while, and the gameplay and game modes become much more important.
Someone once told me the grass is
Tenkaichi 4. It's not even a question, bro. Like, it's not even a question. I doubt she finna say Sparking Zero anyway.
much greener on the other side.
Which one is actually
So, which one is actually better? If you're someone who just wants Budokai Tenkaichi 3 but more, Tenkaichi 4 is absolutely the game for you. And honestly, it's hard to argue against it when you consider that it's completely free. It takes the classic Budokai Tenkaichi 3 formula, refines it, and throws in a ton of extra content, making it the ultimate love letter to fans of the old games. Sparking Zero, on the other hand, absolutely captures the spirit of the older titles, but it also very much feels like its own thing. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Personally, I found Sparking Zero's story mode to be a real highlight. The scope, the way it brings key moments to life, it's something.
Ain't that crazy how people can have different perspectives on it? Because a lot of people hate the story mode. Me personally, I don't I ain't gonna lie, I don't dislike or like it. It's a story mode. I know the game wasn't for the story mode. They just put it on there to satisfy a lot of y'all. If I wanted to play story mode, I'm gonna get on Kakarot, if I'm being honest.
Something I really enjoyed. But when it comes to offline content overall, Tenkaichi 4 just offers more reasons to keep playing. Probably the biggest deciding factor here is how much you care about online play. If that's a huge deal for you, then Sparking Zero is the clear winner. But if you're like me and don't really care about online at all, then Tenkaichi 4 gives you a lot more to sink your...
Like, look at these fits, bro. Y'all just seen adult Super Saiyan 3 Gogeta, bro. Now we got Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. It look like he from, what's it called? Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Like, bro, this shit hard as hell.
Teeth into.
They also got a Goku Junior skin on there, bro, from like GT, like after GT, bro. Like, that shit
outside
hard
of
as hell.
standard versus matches. At the end of the day though, the real winners here are us, the fans. After years of waiting, we finally have not one, but two incredible Dragon Ball games to dive into. And does it even really matter if one is better than the other? I mean, I don't care. Do you? Of course you do. The internet always cares.
Yeah, bro, you funny as hell talking about you don't care. That's what this video is about, bro. Let's look at the comment section, though. Let's look at the comment section. Modder part of the team that made BT4 mod here. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to bro right here. He definitely got love. He definitely got love for the Tenkaichi games. For me personally, I did enjoy Sparking Zero. Can't say the same for the rest of the team. It's story mode, which I hope for more, but I still have fun looking for the special quotes and more. But as you said in the video, the lack of any proper single player outside of story mode and custom battle affects the game. They did try to justify it with custom battles and its infinite possibilities, but the creator is too complex to mess around with to mess around with it for too long. Another thing affecting the post-launch is the focus on Daima with the DLC. There are still missing characters and content from Z, the movies, GT, and surprisingly Super, and the DLC being Daima only is only delaying the stuff that people really asked to be added into Sparking Zero. I appreciate the people that are still playing the BT4 mod even after the release of the real one. That's funny he said the release of the real one. But there are some things in the mod that still need more polishing that could be improved, which we are working on improving with each update. But we are kind of small. We're kind of a small team with little time. We also only have one animator, 2 modelers, 2 programmers, and 2 audio experts. So not everything gets done in time for a future update. But we are working to give the best experience we can. I ain't gonna lie, shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. I don't even know if I want to read no more comments, bro. Shout out to him, bro. See, that's what I'm saying. People like him right here. This is real love for Dragon Ball, like in general, but just definitely love for the Tenkaichi series. And that's what I tell y'all, like, bro, these people really love the game. That's why it's so much better. You know, if BT4 had an online, like, if it was a way to make the BT4 mod online, bro, I ain't gonna lie, it probably would take a good amount of the population from Sparking Zero. And that's just me being real. But yeah, man, that's all I really got for y'all in this video. Y'all let me know down in the comment section, which one do y'all think is better? Me personally, I'm gonna go with Tenkaichi 4. I do love Sparking Zero. Don't get it twisted. I love Sparking Zero, but the Tenkaichi 4 game is just a better game in general. And if it had online, then it would completely clear Sparking Zero in everything. But yeah, man, y'all let me know down in the comment section which one y'all prefer. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I appreciate y'all for watching. Like, comment.
Nigga, shut up, bro. Weak ass outro. Like, comment, subscribe, man. Don't know, bro. Bro, this nigga say that after, bro, at the end of every video, bro. Just let the video end, bro. I'm tired of hearing that shit, bro. But all right, y'all, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this shit, man.